We got a studio guest here, and I just like the fact that every single time he comes, there's always something in his progress. And I'm thinking, that's how I try being a camera crew.
It's lit.
It's lit. How are you, studio guest?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm amazing.
Ah,
you smell so nice. You know when I hugged you, I was like, you smell so nice.
The progress. The perfume game.
How's everything? Who are we talking to? I know that we're gonna play a song, but just introduce yourself so that we anticipate the conversation.
Yeah, my name is Lungelo Manzi. It's good to be back. It's family now. We're tied together for life. But yeah, it's good to be back, man.
We are hanging out with Lungelo Manzi in studio.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Nama perfume.
Perfume
game. Oh man, so Lungelo, what have you been up to since your previous interview, Kunala, in the Fresh Cut? Like, bro, what's going on? What's the latest?
And that was a long time ago. Oh my gosh. Okay, Yazzie, a lot has happened. I've dropped 2 projects. So the first one was called Black Dog 2. I dropped it in April. Since then, it's been a crazy ride. I've performed at so many events like Tegwini. My goal has just been to, penetrate the scene and make sure Abantu bayazi out here doing his thing,
Yeah.
So I even got to record a live album where I was doing my songs with the whole band.
Sheesh.
I just dropped that end of September, man. It is so clean. So it's I've been getting so much love from a lot of people, a lot of people that I look up to even, a lot of shout outs. It was crazy.
Dang, that's awesome. How was that experience, performing with, 6-piece?
Yeah, it was a 3-piece band.
3-piece band. How was that experience like?
It was awesome because
not a lot of people get to say that, yo. That's big. That's dope, actually.
You know what I mean? So it was we only had 2 rehearsals basically. The event was on a Thursday for the music Imbizo.
Yeah.
On the same night.
Shout out to Sphe. Yo.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Sphe.
On the same night there was My Connect. You know what I mean? Which is a program that develops artists. And that was the final round, which I also made it to. I got crowned the runner up in the MC category next to Celestial Mike.
Yeah.
So with all of that, even performing with the band on the same night was just crazy, but the energy was dope. The people gave so much love. I got to even record it, so if you want to check that out, it's on YouTube, man. It's a good time. I feel good, man. I feel blessed.
Yeah. So right now, are you part of a band, or is it just still Lungelo Manzi?
Lungelo Manzi is that with the band.
Yeah.
So the thing is though, you can't come with the band to a club, you know what I mean? But
you never know. You might just change things.
You never know. Yeah. So it might happen. If it does, I hope to. I'm very comfortable with the band, but there's also a lot to learn as an artist. More push and shit with Ingoma and the backing tracks. And you're just doing your thing. I mean, tonight I'm out at Rich. I got no band. It's gonna be me.
Boom.
Gonna be doing the things.
Get the bag though.
Hey.
All right. We see that you have a new project now. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes,
just in depth.
Yeah, so that's the one. It's called Live at the Chairman. Mostly because
it
was recorded in South Beach at the spot called the Chairman.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 6 of my songs. Some of them are released, some are not. It has a very much of a jazz feel, but in there you'll hear me rapping, singing, freestyling with the audience, crowd interactions. It's basically just a celebration of umsebenzi wenzile from 2016 until now.
Yeah.
So we've got music from my first tape, Black Dog, Pumango 2016, and stuff from now that was dropped earlier on in the year.
Mm-hmm.
And also just stuff that I improvise on the day, just being in the space and absorbing it from a band.
It must be nice being talented just on the day,
But it's fun.
It's fun, right?
It's fun, man.
Ah, man, that's awesome. So besides Rich Durban, is there other places that umuntu can check you out this month? I know we also heading to the festival. Any interesting things that you might be
definitely
working on?
Yeah. So in the next, let's say the 26th, which is about next week, I'm at 2 spots. Nipo Hurd is an artist hosting an event called In Your Backyard.
We love Nipo Hurd.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to Nipo Hurd.
So she's out here pulling another series of her shows called In Your Backyard. There's gonna be so many dope artists, so many. Kono Loki, Kono Jaden Daniels, Trey Flips, Leah Butler. I'm missing so many other names, but there's just so many people coming through. I'm one of the artists as well. I'm gonna pull through with the band at the Charlatan. On the 26th again, we've got the Durban Sushi and Wine Festival as well. That's for
yummy.
those who love that raw fish game.
Yummy.
Salmon Roses. I'm gonna be out there serenading the gang with the chopsticks and the wines.
Yeah.
And then on the 30th, Tommy and Friends. We out there for some comedy.
Shout out to Tommy.
With the games.
Hey,
you know
shame.
Gonna be doing the things. So, man's is busy low key, but I'm out here. I'm just
You
trying to
out
push.
here. So like, I don't know, man. We are coming towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's a bit scary for me. I don't know about you. I was checking the calendar. I'm like, dang.
Siyaphela manje.
Uphelile unyaka.
Yeah.
And I know it's so weird that I should be happy that it's my birthday next month, but also low key, I'm like, dang, I'm young and I'm a year older. Like, what are you hoping for? Njengoba sekuphela unyaka, I know that you've said how grateful you are for the things that you've been doing.
Yeah,
you know, all these amazing things that are happening. What are you hoping? How are you hoping to end off this year?
I will tell you now. Like, it was my birthday 2 days ago on Thursday.
Happy belated birthday,
Thank you very
Libra.
much.
You're such a Libra.
Hey.
Actually.
Me and Bobley actually share the same birthday, so I'm going to go celebrate with him tonight. You know what I mean?
Nice.
But what I'm hoping for, yabo khona lento ebizwa nge-Afro punk eyenzakalayo at the end of the year. You know?
Okay,
So-
I see the vision.
So they got this thing called Battle of the Bands, which is like a slot that they give to upcoming acts coming through. I'm trying to get on that, man.
You're trying to get on that.
Yeah, but if I could get that and like God willing win that, man, my year would be done. Like I wouldn't even want whatever gigs come through for December. Just in Jabo.
Hey, starting and open.
Yes. But yabo, just that young.
You know what? Let's put it out in the universe.
Yeah.
You can expect Lungelo Manzi
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
Afro Punk.
Yeah, I love
Who's
that
headlining
energy.
it this year? Do we know?
I mean, they've released some of the artists. Kuna Masejo, there's Now, there's Gold Link, a lot of guys. Docufiction, there's so many guys.
Lungelo Manzi is going to be at the Afro Punk at the
You know
end
what I mean?
of the
Let's
year.
put that out
Let's
there.
put it out in the universe.
Oh,
So,
man, all the guys out there, come on. Look at
yeah. So like, we're gonna play it right now. Kulalako title Satisfy. Can you just tell us a bit more about that? Also, where can we find it and what was the story behind it?
Alright, so Satisfy is the latest single that I dropped before dropping my live album. Satisfy is about being a musician. You know, sometimes you're on stage with you and you're showing my and you're doing your things, and then you know you make that eye contact, and then that eye contact turns into a conversation, and then that conversation turns into a situation and a relation. So it's about, you know, that in your mind though, just playing off of that idea. So the chorus is, will you be mine when I satisfy you? It's just playing with the idea of, you know, just having fun on stage and, you know, vibing with the bantu. But if you want to find more of my music, visit my website, lungelomanzi.com, and you'll find everything. So that's LUNGELOMANZI.com.
No
And
Lungelo _ the boy, with the X and the Lord and the Y and the all of that.
even for your socials, Lungelo
Lungelo
Manzi,
Manzi.
and you will find me.
All right. And I don't know, man. On Facebook, Instagram, where can we check you out?
Manzi.
And if people want to work with you, features, look at
Lungelo Manzi.
guys. I like this guy. All right, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me, man. Yeah, please don't
Always
let
a
me this
pleasure.
long before I come back again. Hopefully, I'll come back with a whole bunch
When
of
you
other
tell us
people.
that you are
That we-
on the lineup
yeah.
for Afropunk.
Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
that is Lungelo Manzi, everybody, and we're gonna play his song right now titled "Satisfied." Gagasi FM playing you the sounds of Aries with Killers. So right before that, we did give you that awesome track by Lungelo Manzi, Satisfy. Still hanging out with us for this segment, this part of the show, which is Get the Bag with
the
Sphe
money.
Mbhele from the music Imbizo. How are you, sir?
I am good. How are you doing, Asante?
I'm amazing. How do you feel about that photo that I showed you on Snapchat and you were just
Let's
like
not
so
go there,
you
please.
were highly confused?
Yes. Let's not go there. Can we talk about something else?
Yes, I did mention a Sakala show. We spoke about you know, the whole issue about mental health.
Yes.
And even the fact that I have to say issue, you know, like the whole programming of how are we going to get to a space where it's no longer issue, challenge, you know, problem. Specifically this time we have Lungelo Manzi, who's an artist, and see Kulmela and the perspective, your artist, you know. Difficult, I'm sure.
Definitely.
It's difficult, I'm sure, to be this person that we all want a piece of. We
Yes,
always want this
yes.
person to take pictures of us. Maybe put my airports, and they've had such a hectic, you know, time. So,
Yeah.
I think, you know, I'm handing it over to you. We got a beautiful doctor in studio, Dr. Carmen.
Hello.
The Rose, a Rose. Like, I feel happy that you're here right now.
Awesome.
Always with these men.
I'm happy to
It's
be
not a
here.
bad thing.
Yeah, take it away, Sphe.
Sure. Thank you, Asante. We're back again. We're back at it again. It's Get the Bag. And as we've been talking for the past 2 weeks, looking at doing things from where you are, right? We touched base on using the spaces, the halls, and everything. But now we want to take it back to you as an artist, right? How do you manage your expectations? What is your understanding of the industry? right, mentally, right, are you prepared for this challenging sector, right? We have with us Dr. Carmen James. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what is it that you do.
Okay, I'm Dr. Carmen James, as you've all heard, and I'm a medical doctor by profession, and I further did a certification in integrative medicine and health coaching. And so at the moment what I do is I help people to live a healthy lifestyle. Essentially, that's what I'm about.
Nice. Can you break down mental health for us? What is that about?
Okay, so when we look at our mental health, we look at the ability that we have to be able to function normally in society. Of course, sometimes, we go through stressful situations and we fall under pressure, for example, but it's actually how we manage to cope with those situations that's important. So when we're speaking about mental illness, we're really speaking about a collection of mental disorders that range from anything from a mood disorder to anxiety disorders, to eating disorders, to even things like schizophrenia and even suicidal thoughts. And so really it's the dysfunction in the way we're thinking, in our emotional state and in our behavior that actually leads to our inability to function in society. And that's just a brief summary
of what mental health is. Okay, just to bring in Ulungelo. Right, we spoke earlier on about starting from where you are. How did you as an artist prepare for the industry? I know that an artist will go in and work on the creative element of things, start writing their work, pitching that, playing it to their friends, and think they've got a masterpiece in their hands, right? But you take it out to the outside world, right? And how did you manage to manage those expectations?
I think you can always have expectations as an artist, but it's always at the point where when you have the product and now you are actually engaging the industry or the spaces where you see how far your expectations were on or off what you wanted. So you will have the masterpiece that you believe in. Your friends told you, everyone else, your mother loves it, everyone is vibing with it.
Sure.
And then ufike clubini uyidlala ingoma nabantu bakubuke. You know what I mean? So from that and other versions of those type of situations, you have to assess in yourself in terms of what was good, what was bad, because it's not necessarily that you may have a bad song sometimes. Sometimes it's about you don't have the song for the space or any other thing that relates to your music in the music business.
Okay, and how did you get over that? How did you manage that yourself?
For me, I had to look within, I had to research, study people that were in the spaces that I wanted to be in, and see how they got there. Speak to people who were close to those people and see what they saw in that person, either helping them, working with them, and then take notes,
And earlier when we were talking, we spoke about being two types of people.
Yes,
right,
yes.
whereby you're the performer and you are Ulungelo.
Yeah.
Right, there's expectations that you have as Ulungelo, the person.
Yeah.
Right, in general, just life. And then there's the performer dude who's supposed to stand up there and be it and deliver to everyone. That separation, how did it affect you? Does it affect you in any way?
It does. I mean, I come from a background where back in like 2013, I had come from a space of depression where I had to overcome it. And it's a daily thing, and I did. But every day you move forward, going forward by, keeping to what you know, because that's all you can do at the end of the day.
Okay.
And keeping a support system, that's what keeps you going.
The good doctor. Can we bring in the good doctor onto that? On that, managing those two aspects of your life, being Ulungelo off stage and Ulungelo on stage and delivering, right? And the expectations that come just basically with being an artist.
Yeah.
Right, so when it comes to our careers are very tightly linked into our identity, so who we are as people. And I think perhaps as artists, that expression of who you are being so different perhaps from the person that you are at home, and reconciling those two personalities can sometimes be very difficult. But I think you touched on an excellent point with regards to introspection and getting to know yourself and getting to understand who you are, and also being able to develop healthy coping mechanisms that are actually constructive. Sometimes, unfortunately, we end up in a situation where we're unable to deal with things like rejection, being vulnerable, that crash that maybe come after you've done a performance, after the high, and not being able to manage those stressful situations because because I mean, when you go on stage, you know exactly immediately if the audience
They
is
love your
approving
music,
of you or not, and that it impacts on your self-esteem and your ability to show up as the person that you want to be. And so I think that an element of reflection, developing healthy coping mechanisms, and certainly having a healthy support system to support you through those times where perhaps things are not going as well as you would expect.
Tammy wants to say something.
Yeah, Lungelo, you touched on like depression in like 2013 and in terms of it.
Yeah.
And now, what I'd like to know is that were you looking at your music as therapy? Was that a way of like your therapy?
Definitely, definitely. Like my tape was called Black Dog. Black Dog is a term that's used for depression, or that thing. And for me, I made my first tape to get through it, because I didn't want, like in my head at the time, I was like, I didn't want it to be like, if I blow up and I make it, then people find out, oh, Lungelo is actually a sad guy or whatever the stigma.
And then if the reception of that particular project was kind of negative, would that now would have affected you, or is the therapy in actually producing? Is it in producing it, or is it from the reception that you get from the people?
Yeah, I think my issue is that I was a different person from the time I started making it to when it was done. That reflected what went out of me, because even on the tape, when you listen to it, there's voice notes of actual friends of mine who are talking about how they were around me when I was going through the thing, and me listening to that while creating these songs helped to even heal myself, you know. So by the time I got to my second one and now moving on to other projects, that part of my life has been, you know, dealt with and managed in a productive way. I didn't hide it away. I didn't you know, put it in a box.
That's interesting, and the doctor was touching on Dr. Carmen was touching on coping mechanisms, right? So we understand that when you're starting out, you've got all these dreams, right? You have a masterpiece. He had a masterpiece 3 years ago, and he was saying earlier on, it's only now that 3 years later that people are catching on and is getting the same. He's getting what he was expecting in 2016, basically, right? How do you manage those expectations, and how do you create positive coping mechanisms?
I think being able to deal with feedback is very important. Sometimes we can take criticism as a reflection of who we are as people, as opposed to a reflection of your work as an artist. And so Dr. Brené Brown speaks about vulnerability, and she speaks about putting yourself out there, and that's the way creativity comes from. It comes from being able to go on stage and put yourself out there, but then the criticism that comes back from that, being able to manage that in a constructive way and not allowing it to affect your self-esteem and the way you view yourself, but rather using it as a tool to be able to improve and perfect your craft. And really, stress is a perception. We all face stressful situations in life, but it's how we manage the stress. So do you use it as an opportunity to learn and grow, or do you allow it to get into your psyche and affect the way you feel about yourself and bring on more disturbances?
Okay, just a quick one, right? You speak about stress, right? And how do we differentiate between stress, which is normal, and being lonely, and anxiety, and actually that now this is an issue and I need assistance with it?
Right. So when we're making the diagnosis of psychiatric illnesses in general, so whether that be anxiety or depression or schizophrenia, for example, we're using a very specific set of criteria. I'm sure you know that people Google things all the time, and Dr. Google tells us that we have all kinds of diagnoses, but there's a very strict criteria that we have to follow called the DSM-5 criteria. So that diagnosis needs to be formally made. But essentially what we're looking at is, does the condition disturb functionality? Is the person unable to now perform their roles in society, do their work? Are their relationships disturbed as a result? And how long has this actually been going on for? So generally it's a persistent thing. For example, if you lose a loved one, grief is normal, right? We all go through those stages, and it's a mourning process, and we understand it's going to take a certain amount of time. But if that's prolonging beyond what's expected, then we start to...
It's a situation. So not everything.
No.
Is there a time limit? Is there a time frame?
So she was saying about 6 months.
About 6 months. We say if a condition is persistent for over 6 months and causing dysfunction, it's very important that we notice that we're losing functionality, because you can get people who are still quite highly functioning, but as a result of perhaps disturbances in their mental state, they're unable to eat, to sleep properly, to perform in their jobs, maintain healthy relationships, etc. So is there loss of function associated as well?
Okay, I think we're going to close it there, but Dr. Carmen James, thank you for coming through.
Thank
Can
you
you
so
please just give us details? How do people get hold of you if they need,
Absolutely. So on Instagram and Facebook, I'm at dr.carmenjames. I have a website, drcarmenjames.com, and my email is dr@carmenojames.com.
Okay, cool. And just to wrap up, right? Just to wrap up, get the bag.
Yeah.
Right. I'd like to say that most people, they jump into the industry with high expectations, and they think that one move, getting my music played with Fresh Cut, or sitting down with Asante, or doing something, will propel me to a great artist.
Yeah.
But all that we would like to say is it's a series of events. It's a number of things that you have to do, right, to make sure that you move forward in the industry, right? So manage your expectations, know the environment that you're playing in, understand the industry, right, and take it one step at a time,
Yeah.
right, and then you will grow.
On that,
Otherwise, thank you.
yeah, on that note, on behalf of the Fresh Cuts, I would like to send my deepest condolences to the friends and family of Ukes. If you listen to our shows, you would have heard Amaculo Akilana. He was a really, great and emerging hip hop artist, Konalana, in the, the KZN region. And unfortunately, to, stuff like this, stress, depression, his life was taken too soon. So R.I.P. Cass, and yeah, return if possible.
Gagasi FM.
Yeah, we alive right now.